A wild wolf bit the boy's arm. The man saw it happen. He immediately grabbed his gun and rushed out, but the boy stopped him. To prove the wolf meant no harm, the boy raised his right hand again. The wolf bit again but didn't use force. When the man saw this, he was completely stunned. The brave boy gained the wild wolf's trust. As time passed, their bond grew even stronger. Even the wolf helped the boy with work. That day, White Fang entered the mine with Jack as usual. The next second, the mine suddenly collapsed. Jack got buried under the dirt, but with help from White Fang and the man, Jack escaped the danger safely. Then, the man saw gold dust on White Fang's foot. They quickly returned to check the mine. Just as they suspected, gold covered the cave walls. Jack was thrilled immediately, but to know if they'd get rich overnight, the gold needed testing. However, at the appraisal center, White Fang suddenly bared his teeth. He had seen the man who once hurt him. They forced White Fang into dogfights. To make him fiercer, they constantly beat him. But luckily, Jack rescued White Fang in time. The bad guy recognized White Fang. He immediately escaped out the back door. The boy didn't know what happened, but great danger was closing in. The next day, the thug quietly climbed onto the roof. Then he blocked the chimney with cloth. Other thugs waited with guns by the door. Soon, they woke up coughing from thick smoke. The man opened the door to check. The next second, gunfire broke out. Luckily, the thug had terrible aim, but they still dared not go out. To force them out, the thugs threw fire inside. Then they waited with guns at the door, but after a long time, no one came out, so the thug kicked the door open. The next second, White Fang lunged at the thug. The thug fell down, and his gun accidentally fired, hitting another thug. White Fang glared at the thug angrily, but he didn't notice another thug aiming at him. When he tried to reload, his gun jammed. White Fang immediately charged at him. Then he leapt with full force. He knocked the thug to the ground. When the thug reached for the gun, the next second, White Fang bit his butt. Finally, White Fang defeated all three thugs. Jack handed them to the police. After the danger passed, Jack wanted to move to the city. Then his friend told him, wolves can't survive in cities. The wild is White Fang's true home. Jack didn't want to leave him, but he agreed with his friend. He took White Fang to the forest. Then he removed his leash. Jack kissed White Fang's forehead. Then he waved for him to go, but White Fang didn't move. He just followed Jack closely. No matter how Jack drove him away, White Fang refused to leave. He didn't understand why Jack wanted to leave him. Then Jack picked up a stick and pretended to hit him. White Fang finally turned away sadly. Soon after, Jack returned to town. Though he had great wealth, he felt no joy. When he was about to leave, Jack hesitated again. He couldn't give up the bond, so Jack returned to the mine. He rebuilt the burned-down cabin. He planned to find White Fang later, but when he turned around, he suddenly saw a familiar figure. White Fang had never left. He had waited for Jack all along. They ran toward each other. Then they hugged joyfully. Finally, they lived a happy life together.